Captain Rick Shelford scours the grounds for his 25,000 pounds of bear dye. Amidst violence,
Deadliest Catch is shutting down, and the reason why will blow your mind. There have been rumors and whispers of secrets that could bring it all to an end. Scrutiny is the price of fame, and as the show's popularity soared, so did the need to know every bit of the stars it made. However, some secrets are better off hidden because once they do come out, you lose everything. It started with a sense of unease and foreboding. Now that hitch has become a reality. The truth is out, and we're bringing it to you as it unfolds. Together, we might actually be witnessing the end of one of the most controversial shows in the world. Crab fishing in the Bering Sea.
The tale of Joshua Tell Warner is an almost comical saga.
From the moment it came on air in 2005, Deadliest Catch has captured the attention of thousands of people around the world. Deadliest Catch is an American reality television series that premiered on the Discovery Channel on the 12th of April 2005. The show follows crab fishermen on the hunt for Alaskan king crab and snow crab in the Bering Sea during the fishing season. From what we witnessed, it was no easy feat. Their lives are constantly on edge as they continuously go through dangerous and life-threatening incidents. The show was called The Deadliest Catch because crab fishing in the Bering Sea is a risky venture that very few dare to try. Riding in the water alone is dangerous, but coupled with fishing, it is what many might consider a suicide attempt. The Bering Sea is a marginal sea in the northern Pacific Ocean that, together with the Bering Strait, separates the continents of North America and Asia. This sea was named after Danish explorer Vitus Bering, who served in the Russian military. A few years later, it became obvious that Bering's discovery was nothing but a wet graveyard for ships and fishermen. It was tagged as a danger zone, and sliding across was recognized as a dangerous event and characterized by big waves, accompanied by strong winds and insanely cold water temperatures ranging from 34 degrees to 41 degrees in the south. Another factor that makes it even more dangerous is that, for a sea, it can get pretty shallow depending on the tides. This means that any incoming swell from the Pacific will quickly transition from deep to shallow water, creating rough, open sea conditions. The unfriendliness of the Bering Sea lasts all year long. There is no respite even in the winter. In winter, large portions of the sea freeze over, and when it starts to melt, you end up with huge chunks of floating ice, which heightens the danger. If you don't think chunks of floating ice are a problem when at sea, then you should brush up on the history of the Titanic. These chunks of floating ice can be a huge pain to navigate, and a collision with anything runs the risk of capsizing the ship. There are also strong, volatile currents that can influence the paths of these gigantic ice boulders. The Bering Sea is rich in marine life, which is one of the reasons why people still attempt to fish in its dangerous waters. Humans are not the only ones who have noticed the rich diversity of marine life living there, however. Orcas have also been spotted along the Bering Strait, as it serves as a buffet of diverse marine life that they usually enjoy. So anyone who wants to go fishing in the Bering Sea also has to contend with sharks for the rich marine life. Crab fishing in itself is a dangerous affair. However, some others have found a way to combine the dangerous lifestyle of an Alaskan crab fisherman with that of a reality television star. That is exactly what happens in Deadliest Catch, and the combination has been found interesting by many people. Fans witnessed the lives of crab fishermen as they struggled to earn a living. They saw the risks, troubles, and personal struggles that come with being on one of the most dangerous seas in the world for months, away from land and loved ones. Their lives are pretty rough and exhausting, and with the cameras around, fans got to witness everything, including their low moments. In the Bering Sea, only the toughest make it out alive. Being one of the most dangerous spots in the world, it is a wonder how people willingly sacrifice themselves to achieve what few people ever dream of. On Deadliest Catch, we witnessed firsthand the dangers, troubles, and conflicts associated with the waters of the Bering Sea. Deadliest Catch has over 20 seasons, and its own share of stories of victories, losses, and deaths. Deadliest Catch has proven that the lifestyle of a crab fisherman is not for everyone. Only the brave dare to go through with it, and only the lucky survive. While their trips to the Bering Sea kept their bills paid, They may also have caused more havoc than people could have imagined. The fishermen who return every year have been observed to deal with serious physical and mental health issues. Some have called it the curse of the Bering Sea. Deadliest Catch had recorded one of the highest numbers of casualties as a show. The strange part is that most of the casualties are not even sea-related. Some lost their lives due to serious health challenges, others from substance abuse, while others ended up in a prison cell and were never heard from again. For some reason, it seems as though the Bering Sea harbors a dark secret, a secret that it would not hesitate to end the life of anyone who traverses its waters to keep. With its adverse weather conditions, shark-infested waters, and disturbing history, the Bering Sea has marked itself as one place where few dare to venture. Deadliest Catch follows the lives of the few who dare to, and lets us see the risks these men and women take to get king crabs and snow crabs to your dinner table, so you can enjoy the seafood that you love. Nobody can explain to you firsthand the dangers of fishing in the Bering Sea better than deckhand Dean Gribble Jr. Gribble did not spend much time on Deadliest Catch, appearing in just a handful of episodes. His dreams of being a reality TV star fisherman were short-lived after he had a nearly fatal encounter with death. On December 31st in 2019, Gribble had set out just like any other crab fisherman on the sea, with crabs and fish on his mind, but the day soon became one he would never forget. On December 31st, the fishing vessel Scabdy's Rose was on its way to the Bering Sea for the start of a new crabbing season. What started as a normal trip on a boat full of men who had dreams of catching a lot of crabs ended up as a day of gloom. The fishing vessel ran into some floating ice, which bored a hole in its starboard side and sank. There were 7 people on that boat that day, but only 2 people survived, and one of them was Gribble. He and his fellow crewman John Lawler managed to get into a lifeboat, which was airlifted to safety by the Coast Guard. They were rushed to a hospital in Anchorage, where they were treated for hypothermia. The other crew members were not so lucky and met their end in the eatery grave of the Bering Sea. The shipwreck event made headlines, and Gribble and Lawler became the talk of the town overnight. It's definitely not the way he had hoped to get famous, but it looked like life had other plans. Sadly, the bodies of the other crew members were never found, including those of the captain and his son. After the incident, Gribble decided that maybe crab fishing in the Bering Sea wasn't meant for him. He loved fishing but preferred doing it in safer waters. After taking an understandable break from the water to spend time with his family and heal from the trauma of what happened, Gribble returned to fishing. He posts tales of his fishing experiences under his social media handle, King Crabba. His experience highlights just how dangerous these waters are and how quickly things can change. One moment you are alive and the next you are gone. A dark history. Deadliest Catch brought the wonder of reality television to thousands of people around the world. Fans witnessed captivating moments as fishermen battled storms and dangerous weather to catch fish. The suspense of hoping bad weather passes and the relief of a bountiful catch were what fans were on the lookout for. Deadliest Catch showed stunning and vibrant images of what it is like out there, one of the world's deadliest seas. In a way, it also shows humans' ability to persevere. Even in conditions and places where nature refused to let anything else thrive, humans have still found a way to make a living off the waters. In fact, some of the crab fishermen enjoy the thrill of being on the sea, racing against time and nature for their daily bread. Discovery Channel's Deadliest Catch may have racked up pretty good viewership ratings, but unfortunately, that will not be enough to keep the show running. The threat is not the Bering Sea or its harsh weather conditions, but a plight brought on by human beings. The king crab and snow crab are dwindling in numbers. The adverse effects of climate change have unfortunately reached these dangerous waters, and now crab fishermen must find a new source of income. To protect these species, the government has implemented regulations on crab fishing in the Bering Sea. The cast of Deadliest Catch compete against each other on who catches the most amount of crabs. More numbers mean the bigger the paycheck. This law, which regulates and has cut short the numbers, was not in favor of the show. Therefore, it had to be canceled. However, some people speculate that it's more than that. In Deadliest Catch, many unfortunate events have occurred over the years, leaving a trail of bodies. People have begun to notice something disturbing about the show and its cast members. Many even felt that the dark events played a significant role in the show's cancellation. For one, a lot of the crew members seemed to have either a health condition or a substance addiction. It had also recorded several deaths, which is also unsettling. Perhaps it was the sea gods punishing them for invading a place that was once considered uninhabitable, or a serious stroke of bad luck. Those who did not become casualties were arrested on criminal charges and locked up. Many speculated that as the bodies began to pile up, Discovery felt it would be better to put the show on hold for a while. Very few have managed to escape the curse of the Bering Sea. An example was Scott Campbell Jr. Campbell Jr.'s journey on Deadliest Catch began in Season 7. He came on the show as captain of the Seabrook. Born and raised as the son of a fisherman, he had an attachment to the ocean like no one else. Growing up, he already knew that whatever career path he would choose, he would end up in the waters just like his father. When the Deadliest Catch came knocking, he took the offer without a second thought. The enthralling spirit and enthusiasm Campbell brought were something most fans looked for. His dedication and intelligent fishing techniques were among the things fans really admired. For him, fishing was a way to connect his past experiences with his father to his present as an adult fisherman, and he was good at it. Out in the open sea, he felt and looked more at home than on land. Then his health took a turn for the worse. He developed chronic back pain, which made crab fishing really difficult and painful. Combined with the stress of crab fishing in the Bering Sea, such as sitting for long hours in the cramped wheelhouse while waiting for a catch or trying to hang on for dear life in the middle of a storm, it became obvious that his time on the boat was coming to an end. Crab fishing became increasingly difficult and painful. He eventually reached his limit after Season 10. Many fans were saddened by his departure, and for a while, the show felt a little less interesting. During his time on the show, he had gained a pretty solid fan base and was considered the best crab fisherman by many. For a while, it seemed like his health issues had finally taken Campbell Jr. away from the sea and away from fishing. However, with the show shutting down, there has been speculation about his departure. Some wonder if his situation was normal. Was his ailment as ordinary as he played it to be? Or was it the Bering Sea gods telling him to stay off their territory? Campbell Jr., however, didn't think so. He was never the type to call it quits so easily. In Seasons 16 and 17, he returned to the show, first on the Seabrook and then aboard a new vessel, Lady Alaska. During his time ashore, Campbell refused to be held down. He went into business and became the owner and chief executive officer of Cordova Coolers, now Cordova Outdoors. The company is based in Idaho and manufactures high-end coolers, drinkware, and accessories. He stepped down from that position in 2018 and began a new business venture, Beaver Creek Firewood, in 2023. Some people experience the curse of the Bering Sea early, but some look like they have escaped the curse of the sea, only to be hit with a smack of reality later. One of the oldest captains of the Deadliest, Wild Bill Wikrowski, is one of them. Wild Bill Wikrowski is a legend not just on the show but also in crab fishing. He went on the show in 2015, and as the history of the Deadliest Catch goes, he is one of the few to have escaped the curse of the Bering Sea, or so they thought. His exceptional crab-catching skills and ability to quickly maneuver himself and his crew out of dangerous situations are traits that have kept many fans in love with his personality. With his quick thinking skills and love for adventure, Wikrowski has proven that he is indeed a man of the sea. He knows when to play it safe, and for him, safety comes first before crabbing, something a lot of other captains have taken for granted and paid dearly for. His presence on the show is a testament to his resilience and ability to overcome adversity despite the odds. To a lot of young crabbers, Wikrowski is a hero and a role model. He excelled in a place where most do not survive, proving he is a child of the sea. However, the longtime captain of Summer Bay has experienced his own brush with death. He was lucky. He made it out alive. At the end of Season 19 in 2023, Wikrowski received some disturbing news regarding his health, something so serious that it took the man of the sea away from the sea. At the end of Season 19, Wikrowski announced that he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer, a real shock for a man who had survived many storms and near-death experiences on the sea and lived for the thrill of the adventure. To fans, because of how long he had survived in the show, they had considered Wachowski to be invincible. Try as hard as he might, persevered throughout season 20 with his diagnosis, refusing to let the Bering Sea curse get the best of him. At the end of the season, he left his boat in capable hands and devoted himself to his health. He was missing in the new episodes for season 21, and fans wondered if the Bering Sea had finally gotten him. Then he made his comeback in 2024. He refused to let the diagnosis keep him away from what he loves doing and what he does best. In his words, "I will keep going until I can't." He had been keeping fans posted on his social media pages about his treatment. Early February of 2025, he posted the comment, "I seem to be cancer-free." He explained that so far the treatment has been working, and all the figures and numbers are favorable. Perhaps it is this indomitable spirit that the gods of the Bering Sea admire and respect, because he came back to the show and has been doing well ever since. Jake Harris's brother, Josh Harris, joined the crew of the Cornelia Marie as a greenhorn in 2007. He was the brother of Jake Harris, who eventually became the captain of the Cornelia Marie after their father passed away in 2010. His debut at the start of season 3 and his relationship with his brother soon became one of the show's best aspects. The Harris brothers became fan favorites, working together to give viewers a sense of what it's like to fish in the Bering Sea. For years, Harris made a name for himself on the show as a dependable and intelligent crew member. His role on the ship had saved their lives on several occasions. He was most impressive in 2020 during the coronavirus pandemic that shut the world down. He got his own spin-off series, Deadliest Catch Bloodline, which follows his journey as he sails the Hawaiian Islands with the aid of his father's old maps. However, in 2022, his skeletons came out in public. He and the Cornelia Marie were dropped from the upcoming season due to a shocking incident in Harris's past. In 1988, he was accused of sexually mistreating his neighbor's daughter. Harris was a teenager at the time, while the victim was 4 years old. He pleaded guilty and the charges were reduced. Harris was sentenced to 60 days confinement, along with 24 months of supervision. When the Discovery Channel got wind of this, it issued a statement saying Harris would not be involved in future episodes of the series. His spin-off was canceled and he was banned from the show. Harris has kept a low public profile since the incident came to light and has not been seen on the show since then. Then there is the show's affiliation with criminal history. One of the most unusual yet interesting cases is that of Joshua Tell Warner. Whether it was foolhardiness or just his idea of living it wild, Joshua Tell Warner has got to be one of the most audacious men to have ever been on the Deadliest. It takes a lot of courage to go crab fishing in the dangerous waters of the Bering Sea, and even more courage to do so on live television. What takes a whole lot more courage than all of that is to go crab fishing on live TV after robbing a bank. Not the smartest plan he ever had, or was it an attempt to hide in plain sight? Till this day, nobody knows. He came on the show in Season 5 as a greenhorn aboard the fishing vessel The Wizard. It was on this boat that he spent half of the season. While he claimed to be a novice at crab fishing, he was a master at bank robberies on the mainland. While his crewmates were planning the most effective way to catch crabs, Warner was busy plotting bank robberies. He went on to rob the Oregon Bank in 2007. Since he was so successful, he decided to share his expertise on bank robberies with his crewmates. No one believed it, though, because no one in their right mind would rob a bank and brag about it. In April 2009, while his episodes of Deadliest Catch were airing, he went to the mainland, robbed another Oregon bank, and returned 3 weeks later to rob it again. Talk about a dedicated criminal. He was finally caught in December 2009 and received a 9-year prison sentence. Warner avoided social media and has no social media handles. To date, no one knows where he is or whether he is still in prison. We do know, however, that he has not been on Deadliest Catch since then. What happens next? With the show having this streak of bad luck and constant health challenges, fans have concluded that it might not be a bad thing if it were to be canceled. If it means that more lives are spared, then so be it. Although the show will be missed, it's about time the Discovery Channel found something else to fill the gap left behind by the Deadliest Catch. Its long history of death and tragedy is enough to suggest a hiatus for now. However, the Discovery Channel is not done with the show yet. It has not moved on to other types of fishing or crab hunting, including the golden king crab, barty, and cod. Whether it was foolhardiness or just a desire to be brave, the show came back for another season in August of 2025. Rather than give up, they are adapting to the changes and continue to look for ways to maximize their talents and earn money to feed their families. However, some people still doubt if this was the right move at all. The loss of lives and property on the show cannot be ordinary. For preservation of the fishermen and the ecosystem, some say the show should be canceled permanently or moved to another base of operations. There is also the high cost of fishing equipment. Crab fishing is expensive, and due to the turbulent waters of the Bering Sea, ships need constant repairs to prevent capsizing. The cost of these repairs is high. This means that even if they find a way to fish within the government's regulations, their paycheck will take a hit. It's a sort of money that they take home that will not be like it used to be. There is also the issue of the next generation. Being a crab fisherman is hard, and a lot of kids are changing their career path away from crab fishing. This leaves the old crab fishermen at a disadvantage. As the years roll by, it has become evident that age is setting in. They are not as young as they used to be, and the work is more strenuous. With fewer youngsters choosing to take the reins, it is going to be extremely difficult to keep the art of crab fishing alive. That is not the only problem that comes with old age. There are also health challenges that pop up. Sig Hansen, the legend of Deadliest Catch, can attest to this. For over 20 years, Sig has proven himself to be the best out on the Bering Sea. In 2018, Sig had a heart attack while at sea. It was a close call, and quick thinking from one of the producers saved his life. With this incident, it has now become obvious that the king of the Bering Sea is not in his best days anymore. If he wants to live long and see good days, he needs to take it easy on the sea. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, and Sig has no intention of stopping anytime soon. He really does have to take it easy, or he might be taken away from the seas sooner than he thought. The show must go on, but some fans are questioning if it should. The dangers and risks associated with fishing in the Bering Sea seem even more obvious and real. Fans now get to see it for themselves and witness how dangerous the lives that these fishermen lead really are. Many are actually wondering if what they go through is worth it. However, these fishermen believe that it is. The waters may be turbulent and scary, and they may have had a brush with death several times, but these experiences are what make them more grateful for life. Going to sea is something they have done their whole lives. It is a challenge, but it is also home away from home. The sea breeze and the blue waters are a familiar sight. Others may see danger, but they see a challenge, one they have prepared for almost their entire lives to handle. They know the risks, and they still feel like it is worth it. Others might not understand this drive to be out at sea for months, away from civilization, family, and friends, but it is the only life they have ever known. They are the true children of the sea. The sea might toss waves and send storms their way, but they will always go back. It's how, and there is no place like home. With over 20 seasons, Deadliest Catch has become more than just a show about fishing. It is a story of bravery, sacrifice, and survival in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. It also reveals the personal struggles of the crews, the stress, exhaustion, injuries, unhealthy habits, and the heavy toll that life at sea takes on their bodies and minds. Viewers see both the joy of a good catch and the heartbreak of accidents, conflicts, and even death. They witness the reality behind the scenes, that while these men and women achieve things that may look impossible, they are just human after all. No amount of time in the sea can change them into something other than human. They laugh, they cry, they experience joy, sorrow, and disappointment. They get scared but still elude bravery. For them, that is what counts. Besides, it's just like the saying goes, fortune favors the brave. What are your thoughts about these? With the many unfortunate incidents that have befallen the cast of Deadliest Catch over the years and across its seasons, is it safe for the show to continue airing? What do you think the future holds for the Deadliest Catch show? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.